Why is the podcast back even though I'm busier than ever? It's because I don't want to lose myself. And the podcast is actually a way for me to, get back to my own self. Meron kasi akong iniisip lagi na sa sobrang bilis ng buhay, minsan nalilimutan natin mag-self-reflect. And the podcast is the perfect opportunity for me to self-reflect and actually tell you my journey. Because I believe Miss Manila Luxe is not about Miss Manila Luxe anymore. It's also about the growth of myself to you. Kung nakita nyo ako dati na para lang akong utusan ng kabila, ngayon makikita nyo naman ako na how I run the business. And you tell me again and again that I inspire you. Second is yung time. Wala na po ako nakikitang tao maliban sa kliyente ko, maliban dito sa mga tao ko, tsaka anak ko, tsaka yung partner ko. I did not have any time for social gatherings. And yes, I lost a lot of friends because I was not able to maintain them. What if Miss Manila Luxe is no longer just buy and sell? What if is not anymore what if? The next 2 years of Miss Manila Luxe will be about building Miss Manila Luxe as a brand name wherein gusto ko yung pagising ninyo, ay, bibili ako ng bag kay Miss Manila Luxe. Ay, sira yung bag ko kay Miss Manila Luxe. Ay, kailangan ko ng pera pero ayoko pang ibenta kay Miss Manila Luxe. Gusto ko yung panahon ng after 2 years, si Miss Manila Luxe is everything you need about the bag. So yes, we are not just going to be buy and sell anymore, my loves. We're going to be an institution in 2 years. And for this time, ang mundo ay puro sasama. Ang daming mga, alam mo yun, ang daming pangit na naririnig natin. And I want this channel to just continue inspiring you. But aside from inspiring you, we are getting into a place where my mistakes could be your guide, where my thoughts could be your benchmark, where my growth could be a valid reason for you to stop thinking about negativity, but start thinking about, yes, it's also possible. So this podcast is back to make sure that you stay inspired.
This is the truth behind building every business. Hindi lang siya puro glitz and glamour. May kasama siyang drama.
Gusto ko ma-experience mo kung ano yung na-experience ng ibang tao pag bumibili ng mahal na bag.
Hi, this is Stephanie, your bag bestie.
Hi, welcome! It's been long time since I'm here, but I'm so happy to share to you what really happened behind Miss Manila Luxe when I was gone. This is the moment where we needed to expand, not because of anything else, but because minsan dinadala tayo sa lugar ng business natin na hindi na enough kung ano man yung meron ka. The growth of Miss Manila Luxe is not about anything else, but it's because we needed better system, better place, and better things to be. This episode is about when the business is growing. Ano yung kailangan nating palitan, whether it's the mindset, it's the system, or anything. Kasi minsan yung mga dati nating ginagawa, hindi na siya pwedeng dalhin sa next natin na journey. Kung ikaw naman ay isa ring business owner or founder na parang feeling mo pinipilit ka ng business mo na magkaroon ng mas malaking desisyon, you should watch this because this is about taking bigger responsibilities as the growth continues. Today, ikukwento namin kung bakit hindi na pwedeng magstay na maliit si Miss Manila Luxe at kung bakit pinili namin mag-grow kahit na uncomfortable. Why did I disappear when everything started working? Actually, the disappearance is not because I want to disappear, but because there was too much things to do. The growth that I had for the last 6 months was something I never expected. Like today, okay yung system ko, bukas hindi. So the fact that I was gone, it's not because I did not miss you or I don't want to share my journey with you, but because that journey was actually parang nakakapagod. Honestly, nakakapagod. Every day kailangan kong gumising just to find what's wrong and find a solution. Para akong everyday nagfa-firefight. So I did not have enough energy to do this anymore. And that's the reality of building the business. Sometimes, even though you want to do a lot of things, there will come a moment na yung oras mo hindi na kasya. Oh, was I resting or I was running? I was running for my life. As in every day, kailangan kong gumising ng maaga just to make sure that everything was running smoothly because the growth from 50 daily interactions became 300 people daily. So, kailangan kong bilisan dahil kapag hindi ko binilisan, nanghihinayang ako sa opportunity that we've tapped a new market and I was not able to have a good connection or even build something with the client. That's why I was not resting. I was always running. Before everything happened, what did Miss Manila Luxe really look like? So before, Miss Manila Luxe was just a resale company wherein I buy or I accept consignment from the clients and then I sell. Para lang siyang three steps program. Bibili kami, inventorize namin, popost namin or ilalive namin, tapos na. That was the Miss Manila Luxe journey 3 months during that first 3 months of Miss Manila Luxe. Was it ever meant to be luxury or survival at first? Of course, it was meant to be luxury. Pero nahirapan kaming mag-build noon kasi tatlo lang kami noon, the first three. But then eventually I started getting more people under my team. So, paano ko ba sasabihin? It was surviving luxury business. So, survival and luxury could go alongside naman, di ba? Pero ngayon, Miss Manila Lux is focused on more giving to you luxury feels instead of being a survival. When did I realize that Miss Manila Lux is no longer small? When I wake up every day with 300 people just wants to buy an item from us, whether it was from a previous live or whether it was the real, aside from the increase of the sales, my consignment also piled up to the point na nagsasara na ako kasi hindi na kasya sa showroom namin. And third is when I saw that every day we have sales. So that's the moment I realized that this is not small anymore. How did we grow from 0 to 31,000 followers without ads? That's a very good question, and I want to tell you, budding entrepreneurs, especially who is in social media, to never stop posting reels. You know why? Reels converts me into 1,000 followers. Last time, from 10,000, naging 12,000 kami in the span of 2 days. So good content plus your consistency in posting could convert you to thousands follower na talagang organic, meaning talagang gustong bumili. Why did the podcast feel bigger than just a content? Well, it felt bigger because I think that I have a platform now that I could eventually use for community building. All the people tell me that I'm inspiring because they know my real status in life before I started this, 'di ba? Nakita niyo naman, nagbebenta ako ng gulay. I was really somehow, I can compare to myself na I started from nothing talaga. Now, with this podcast, eventually, I want to invite people who have the same resiliency, same grit, same advocacy, same dreams that nakatulad ko. And then eventually, I want to open it to people like you who wants to talk about business, about dreams, about advocacy. So I feel that this podcast will eventually move into a place wherein not only will you learn luxury business, but all the aspects of life that we could teach you, you will learn. What do I do when people keep showing up and running when we are running out of space? Well, I keep on renting renting new apartments here. Honestly, si Miss Manila Lux may tatlo na pong condominium na nire-rent dito sa Illumina. So, wala akong choice kung hindi mag-adapt. Kasi hindi mo puwedeng tanggihan yung grasya, eh. Hindi mo puwedeng tanggihan na, "Uy ma'am, next week na lang po kayo magpa-consign, next week niyo lang po dalhin yung item ninyo kasi hindi na kami kasya." Hindi puwede yun. Ang kailangan is kami ang mag-adapt. So what I did is really just saying yes to all the opportunities and finding solutions for the problems later on. Why would I say yes to something that big right now? Because I have no choice. The growth is too much that if I contain it into this small condominium, feeling ko marami akong masa-sacrifice such as first, quality of the bag. Syempre 'pag na-store siya ng hindi maganda, papangit yung bag. Pangalawa is yung quality of the work that my team is producing. Since we have 3 units here, ang hirap kasi 'di ba kailangan ko pang tawagan kapag hindi sumasagot, "Hello CCTV, hello Jonah, andiyan ka ba?" So yung quality of work that we could give you will be sacrifice kung hindi ako magse yes sa bigger things. At what point does playing safe becomes irresponsible? That's a very good question. I always wanted to play safe because natatakot akong magkamali. Lalo na ilan yung babies ko na inaalagaan ko na pag nakikita ko sila dito, Diyos ko, ang dami nila, bawal ako magkamali. Paano yung pampasahod nila, di ba? But then, I saw the numbers. I saw the data. I saw that I could not play safe anymore because the coming in of the items is actually bigger than the going out. So I needed a bigger place to play with. And for me, being safe is always there. Pero ano lang siya, data-driven na lang siya this time. If people are trusting me with money, I owe them better system. And that's the truth. Sobrang hiyang-hiya ako pag nagkakamali kami. Sobrang hiyang-hiya ako pag may delayed. Sobrang hiyang-hiya ako kapag hindi masaya yung client. Kasi we're talking about thousands of pesos here. Hard-earned money. So, alam niyo yun, alam ko kasi yung hirap ng buhay, kung paano tayo nakarating sa libu-libong pera. Ang dami niyong sinakripisyo dyan. So, I just owe you the best system and the best care possible. Why did inspiration become suddenly insufficient? Because in this kind of business, inspiration will only make you start. But inspiration will not be enough to fuel you every day, to wake up and show up kahit na pagod ka na. So when growing a business, inspiration is the first step. Building system, being consistent, being lagi kang nasa tuktok, yun yung magkakaroon ng results, hindi lang inspiration. What does this growth quietly took away from me? The growth took away a lot, honestly. My patience, first of all. Second is my time. Third is my room for errors. Yes, malaki yun ha. Kahit ako nagulat ako sinabi ko sa'yo room for error. Kasi yung growth, my love, although my followers or my clients are very nice to me that every time I have a fault, they just message me and tell me what I can do better. Pero pag sa maling audience kasi yon, yung error mo could be a lasting mark for you na hindi ka na nila babalikan. Second is yung time. Wala na po ako nakikitang tao maliban sa kliyente ko, maliban dito sa mga tao ko, tsaka anak ko, tsaka yung partner ko. I did not have any time for social gatherings. And, pag tumatanda ka, minsan, di ba, you get more guilty on not becoming a good friend to your friends. And yes, I lost a lot of friends because I was not able to maintain them. Kahit yung minsan gusto ko mag-hi, mag-hello, magkaroon ng 5-minute conversation, biglang may magpa-pop up, biglang magsasabi, ma, may escalation po. So I lost that too. And yung patience ko with people, meaning dati kasi I was always kind to my team members, but because of the growth, I need to be more disciplined, and being disciplined within myself is not enough. I need to also discipline them just for us to have this smooth workflow of operations that entails a lot of decisions, pivots in the middle, tapos ang ending nun is para lang maging okay yung customer relations namin. So yes, there's a lot of sacrifices that I even cannot identify at the moment, but the key takeaway is room for error is really sacrificed in this growth journey of Miss Manila Luxe. Why is the podcast back even though I'm busier than ever? It's because I don't want to lose myself. And the podcast is actually a way for me to, get back to my own self. Meron kasi akong iniisip lagi na sa sobrang bilis ng buhay, minsan nalilimutan natin mag-self-reflect. And the podcast is the perfect opportunity for me to self-reflect and actually tell you my journey. Because I believe Miss Manila Luxe is not about Miss Manila Luxe anymore. It's also about the growth of myself to you. Kung nakita niyo ako dati na para lang akong utusan ng kabila, ngayon makikita niyo naman ako na how I run the business. And you tell me again and again that I inspire you. And for this time, ang mundo ay puro masasama. Ang daming alam mo yan, ang daming pangit na naririnig natin. And I want this channel to just continue inspiring you. But aside from inspiring you, we are getting into a place where my mistakes could be your guide, where my thoughts could be your benchmark, where my growth could be a valid reason for you to stop thinking about negativity, but start thinking about, yes, it's also possible. So this podcast is back to make sure that you stay inspired. What am I actually building now? If you remember the first podcast, if you've been my follower, we're talking about building a community that is not materialistic. But hence, yung gusto ko yung magiging buyers natin is all about buying an item not because they want to hoard, but because they want to make the luxury bag as a milestone na will reflect their inner thoughts instead of buying it para magyabang. So yun yung una nating vision for the podcast, right? But this time, we are different. This vision now is not about acquiring things but building a community of believers, a community of people na alam nyo ba, lagi ako nakaka-receive ng message na, alam nyo po ba, hindi ko po alam na magiging totoo, na magkakaroon ako ng luxury bag because before it felt unattainable, but now it's attainable. So now, halos lahat ng buong Pilipinas, feeling ko magkakaroon tayo ng bawat isang, kahit man lang isang luxury bag. So aside from fulfilling that mission of Miss Manila Luxe of bringing affordable items or affordable luxury to people like you, the next step is actually empowering you guys by this podcast, and eventually we will be tapping in you if you want to be here and share your story that it's inspiring. This will also be your chance to share your story. And yes, that's the bigger vision for the podcast. Not only should I shine, but also anyone who wants to shine could also be beside me. What if Miss Manila Lux is no longer just buy and sell? What if is not anymore what if. The next 2 years of Miss Manila Lux will be about building Miss Manila Lux as a brand name wherein gusto ko yung pagising ninyo, ay, bibili ako ng bag kay Miss Manila Lux. Ay, sira yung bag ko kay Miss Manila Lux. Ay, kailangan ko ng pera pero ayoko pang ibenta kay Miss Manila Lux. Gusto ko yung panahon ng after 2 years, si Miss Manila Lux is everything you need about the bag. So yes, we are not just going to be buy and sell anymore, my loves. We're going to be an institution in 2 years. Can a luxury brand becomes a place where people grow? Yes, with the right mindset. How? For example, I've been collaborating with you. For example, Salted Caramel. She's the first Miss Caroline. She's always there for us, for her to grow simultaneously. Kunyari, meron siyang extra batches na mga brownies niya, pinapadala niya sa amin. And then, in return, my loves, during my live selling, Miss Steph, saan mo po binili saan niya po binili yung caramel bars na yun? Masarap. So, I believe that slowly, the budding entrepreneurs, the clients who wants to start their own business, sabihan nyo lang ako kung paano ko kayo tutulungan. Tutulungan ko po kayo. So yes, the luxury brand could also be a place for growth once we are in the same wavelength of collaboration. This is not a comeback. This is a continuation in a higher level. If this episode resonated with you, please stay with the journey. Follow the podcast wherever you are watching or listening. This is not trend-driven content. This is documentation, real decisions, real growth, and real work. Come back next week and share this with someone who needs to hear it. This is Stephanie from Miss Manila Luxe, and this is just the beginning.